Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Daniel Weichman. One person is dead after the shooting that took place at Regal Cinemas Hazleton on Saturday. According to Pennsylvania State Police, troopers were dispatched to the Regal Cinemas in Hazel Township for a report of shots being fired. Through the investigation, it was determined that a 19-year-old man was struck during the gunfire in the arcade and lobby area of the cinema. The shooter then fled the scene. The victim, 19-year-old Louis Manuel Luna, was transported to Lehigh Valley Hazleton to be treated for his injuries. Luna succumbed to his injuries on Sunday the following day. It is reported to be an isolated incident. If anyone has any information relative to the investigation, they are encouraged to contact PSP Hazleton at 570-459-3890. The Wilkes-Barre Township Fire and Police Departments responded to a crash late Sunday evening that involved a vehicle incident where it drove into a Petco store. At around 5:15 p.m., crews responded to a crash involving a vehicle that drove into the Wilkes-Barre Township Petco. The officials at the scene were able to report there were no minor injuries and the driver involved is okay. A man is charged for meeting up with who he thought was a 15-year-old boy for sex. According to the Kingston Police Department, 36-year-old Patrick M. Maronak began speaking with a cooperating witness online who was posing as a 15-year-old boy. Investigators reported that the two would chat on Grindr and send photos of his genitalia to the supposed boy. Eventually, police say the two agreed to meet up and instead, Maronak was confronted by officers. They found a package of condoms in his center console. Maronak is charged with soliciting involuntary deviant sexual intercourse, attempted unlawful contact with a minor, and criminal use of a communication facility. Maronak is being held at the Luzerne County Correctional Facility with his bail set at $50,000. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for January 25th. The Justice Department announced on Friday that they had reached a settlement with Schuylkill County to resolve the department's claims in a lawsuit filed for allegations that County Commissioner George F. Helkovich Jr. sexually harassed 4 female employees. Those employees suffered retaliation when they opposed the sexual harassment. The complaint also alleged multiple incidents of sexual advances, coercion of sexual intercourse, and inappropriate sex-based comments that occurred over many years. Under the terms of the consent decree, it is approved by the court, the county will retain a consultant approved by the Justice Department. The consultant will conduct a climate survey among the workplace, propose improvements to the county's equal employment opportunity policies, and develop a new sexual harassment training program. Commissioner Halkovich, who has refused to resign from his position, is included in the consent decree. He can only be removed through impeachment in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives and conviction in the Pennsylvania Senate. 2 men have been charged and accused of defrauding the Pennsylvania Turnpike for approximately $1 million in tolls. 43-year-old Duvernay Zambrano of New Jersey and Sergio Jara, 37, of Allentown, began accumulating thousands of Easy Pass transponders from retailers in PA and New Jersey at the beginning of 2018. Investigators report that the 2 men registered the transponders using false information and false credit cards. The 2 then sold the transponders to truckers in New Jersey who traveled on the PA Turnpike. Zambrano and Jara are currently scheduled for trial on March 4, 2023. The maximum penalty under federal law for this offense is 20 years of imprisonment, a term of supervised release following imprisonment, and a fine. The Hazleton Fire Department responded to a vehicle fire on Saturday around 11:33 a.m. The fire was contained to the area of 17th and Lafayette Court in Hazleton. There are no reports of injuries involved with the vehicle fire on Saturday. Several townships in Luzerne County had water service interruptions throughout the day on Saturday due to a water main break. The spokesperson from Pennsylvania American Water informed the public of a water main break in the Nanticoke region. A 16-inch water main ruptured on East Broad Street in Nanticoke. According to officials, the repairs were finished by 6 o'clock that day. Customers in the impacted region may still see discolored water and poor water pressure. If so, Pennsylvania American Water suggests you run cold water 3 to 5 minutes until the water is clear. The Nanticoke Fire Department offered water to those who needed it. The Schuylkill County District Attorney and Schuylkill County detectives are asking the public for help in locating a woman from Shenandoah. 49-year-old Daniel Marie Oswald is wanted for failing to appear for several court appearances that include the charges of possession of a controlled substance, methamphetamine, misdemeanor, possession of marijuana, misdemeanor, and possession of drug paraphernalia, misdemeanor. There are also 4 active bench warrants for her arrest. Oswald is described as a white female, 5 foot 8 inches in height, and weighs approximately 130 pounds. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Oswald or any other fugitive in the Schuylkill County is asked to call the District Attorney's Office at 570-628-1350 or Schuylkill County Tip Line at 570-624-3988. Anyone who may see or come in contact with Danielle Marie Oswald is asked to call the Schuylkill County 911 Center immediately. The Pennsylvania Superior Court has received an appeal from a Hazleton man who was convicted of robbing and shooting a dog walker and received a sentence of up to 38 years in state prison. After being found guilty by a Luzerne County jury in April of 2022 for shooting a man walking his dog on June 15, 2021, Anthony Gambarazio, 30, is now incarcerated at the State Correctional Institution at Fayette in southwestern Pennsylvania. According to Hazleton police, Gambarazio and Carlos Luna, both 30 years old and from Hazleton, approached a man walking his dog in the apartment complex, where they then attacked the dog walker as Gambarazio displayed a firearm. When the victim seized the revolver, a bullet was fired and went through his right forearm. A jury found Gambarazio guilty of aggravated assault, robbery, simple assault, theft, and criminal conspiracy after a 2-day trial. Due to the nature of the act and Gambarazio's lack of remorse, Assistant District Attorney Julian Truskowski and Assistant District Attorney Drew McLaughlin requested a heavier sentence, 19 to 38 years in state prison. In response to the December 5th denial of Gambarazio's petition to shorten the hefty sentence, the Pennsylvania Superior Court recently received an appeal. Luna admitted to criminal conspiracy to commit robbery and was given a 2 to 4 year jail term on August 17th. Police are searching for the whereabouts for a suspect involved in a robbery in Whitehaven Friday night. According to Whitehaven police, a man robbed the Exxon Mobil gas station in the borough around 10 p.m. on Friday. The man then fled on foot after robbing the gas station. Anyone with information on the robbery is asked to contact the Whitehaven Police Department at 570-443-8888. Coming up on WYLN News, King's College hosts a civil rights activist for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Plus, yesterday was National Bagel Day. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast, brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
My name is Gabriel, and tomorrow it's gonna be over.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
Hello, I'm WYLN historian Chris Fulmer. Pennsylvania's communities are filled with interesting history. Come with me as we discover the people, events, industries, and other historic facets of local towns. Path Through History coming soon on WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome back to WYLN News. The Pennsylvania State Police, Troop N, would like to remind the community to be aware of imposters posing as utility workers. This is a tactic used by scammers to distract you while someone else enters your home and attempts to steal your belongings. An individual who is not scheduled to be at your home for work or repairs should be questioned prior to entering. Don't immediately allow them access. Speak to them through the door or a window and call the company to verify their legitimacy. Trust your instinct. If it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. If at any point you feel threatened, call 911. Car dealerships are beginning to fill back up and the prices of used cars are dropping. Dealerships say the economy plays a big factor in how the prices fluctuate. High interest rates are helping to stabilize said prices as well. Trade-in values for your used cars, however, may follow suit. January 15th was National Bagel Day, and many bakeries and cafes in our area offered special deals and promotions to celebrate. Bagels have been a staple in the American diet for over a century, with the first known bagel bakery opening in New York City in the late 1800s. Today, the crispy, chewy treat can be found in every corner of the country, with different regions putting their own spin on the classic recipe. From traditional toppings, like cream cheese, to more unique options, like avocado toast and even pizza bagels, the bagel has come a long way. We here at WYLN News hope you supported a local business and had a great bagel on National Bagel Day. Today, cities across the nation celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day. In honor of MLK Day, NAACP Wilkes-Barre Branch 2306, Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Wyoming Valley, and the Peace of Justice Center hosted civil rights activist Offie Wortham at King's College for a discussion on civil rights. The meeting included talk about Mr. Wortham's life and accomplishments including segregation and interactions he had with Martin Luther King Jr., the King family, and Malcolm X. Wortham was presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award from NAACP Wilkes-Barre. Governor Wolf came to Harrisburg in 2015, where he brought with him big plans to help Pennsylvania move forward. He promised to fight for schools that teach our kids, jobs that pay, and a government that works. By working every day to build a safe and equitable Commonwealth for everyone, Governor Wolf's commitment to change has fueled the Commonwealth's comeback.
I'm a native Pennsylvanian. I grew up here, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about Pennsylvania history, Pennsylvania's role in this country. We're the 5th largest state in the Union. But if you think about our history, this nation started here. I mean, there are 2 constitutions. We've had the Articles of Confederation and the 1787 Constitution. They were both drafted in Pennsylvania. We've had the Battle of Gettysburg actually reaffirmed the Declaration of Independence, which was signed in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Battle of Gettysburg was fought, the Civil War, in Pennsylvania. We have 2 world-class cities, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. We have some of the finest third-class cities in the world. We have some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. And almost every economic revolution that has happened in this world has come through Pennsylvania. The transportation revolution, the industrial revolution. We have almost more institutions of higher education than any other state in the Union. I think we're second in the country. So my message to Pennsylvanians is be proud of who we are and what we have accomplished. This is an amazing place.
Coming up on McAdoo's News Choice, we take a seat with Marty Burns on Let's Talk Sports. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on WYLN TV.
Struggling to get a good night's sleep? Then look no further. Grand Central is here to help. Grand Central Sealy experts will set you straight. When you buy your mattress at Grand Central, you can expect free delivery and setup, free removal of the old unit, and interest-free financing for up to 60 months. And of course, Grand Central's everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
Getting to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
This week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, you're going to see this beautiful Larissa tell her story about how her headaches, her back problems with her pregnancy, and even any kind of trouble she had with her family, her husband and her daughter, they all come to chiropractic. So come and see what we're about.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. 5 wildcard playoff games in the books. And the final will be on Monday night on ESPN ABC. They signed this duo, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, for a night like tonight. You've got the 5-seed Dallas Cowboys, the 4-seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If this was a best-of-7 series, I'd say easily the Cowboys would defeat Tampa Bay. They are the much better team, I believe. But the Cowboys, when they had an opportunity to try to take, hopefully, the NFC East away from the Eagles, possibly a 1-seed, they went into Washington and laid one of the biggest eggs that they've laid in a long time. And they've laid some pretty big eggs in recent history. And it's caused a lot of Cowboy fans to become very worried about tonight, because it's like the beauty of the NCAA basketball tournaments, the NFL playoffs. Win and advance and survive, win or go home, whatever you want to use as the catchphrase. And the Cowboys really got to get back, and it's got to start with their quarterback, Dak Prescott. He's got to take care of the football. He's been very loose with it, especially throwing it into tight situations. Tampa Bay's defense held them to 3 points even when Prescott was healthy in that opener before he got hurt. And the other thing that makes Tampa Bay very scary, in their second to last game when they won the NFC South, a lot of fans have been calling for it, a lot of football experts were calling for it, for Tom Brady to find their star receiver Mike Evans, and on that day he did. Tom Brady had over 400 yards passing, 207 and 10 catches, 3 touchdowns went to Mike Evans. If Brady can find that combination again tonight, it makes Tampa Bay very tough at home, especially if the Cowboys are not going to be real firm with the football, stay disciplined. This could be a very good football game tonight. Looking forward to it. I would not be surprised if the Buccaneers were the team that came away with the victory, even though I do believe Dallas is the better football team. We'll have to see how it plays out tonight as we get ready for divisional football next weekend. You've been watching Let's Talk Sports. Enjoy tonight's game. As always, we're brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute.
road to the finish line starts with Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute, the region's leader in sports medicine. Our specialists use the most advanced technology for faster, better results, so elite and everyday athletes can compete like champions once again. Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Your health deserves a partner.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central here to ask you, is your kitchen ready for an overhaul? We offer free in-home consultation and design, no interest financing, professional removal and installation, countertop and backsplashes, hardwood and laminate floors, kitchen appliance sales, service and installation, and of course, everyday low prices. Grand Central in Hazleton, helping you make your house a home.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
Welcome to Community and You, and we always like to find out if there's a good read out there, because sometimes rainy days, sunshine days, sometimes you just need something to read. So we invited Tom Shabilla, and he has, well, it's not a book about Barbara Eden, not really. It's a book about color TV.
Color TV, yes. More specifically, the 1966-67 television schedule, which was the first year that every television show was in color. So all shows on all three major networks in prime time made the jump to color that season. Some shows obviously were colored before that, but every show across the board was in color that season.
So why did you decide that this was something you wanted to write a book about?
It's an era I've always been in love with, obsessed with, and I started thinking about possible project ideas. And I came across this fact that it was the first year that every show was in color. And I really felt like it needed to be more than a footnote, more than a Wikipedia page. It needed to be really documented and looked into. And so that's when I started to write this book.
And when you decided that you were going to write this book, where does someone find all of the facts?
A lot of the facts were from the era. So I wanted source material from 1966-67. So a lot of it was newspaper articles. A lot of it were magazine articles that I had found about the era. So anytime that they wrote about the switch to color is specifically mentioned in the book. And then also just stories of those shows.
Is this your first book?
Yes, it is my first book. I've written for many magazines before. I've written about music and movies and television. But yes, this is my first book. This is my first endeavor into publishing. So.
And when you're talking about doing something like this, as you said, it was something that kind of intrigued you.
Yes.
Where do you get the information? Because raise your hand how many remember when this actually happened. But when you're talking about something like, did you have the opportunity to interview anybody?
I had the opportunity to talk to two people who were on Lost in Space. And we talked about the transition to color, how different the set was and things like that when they did make the switch to color, because Lost in Space, which started in 1965, was one of the last shows that debuted in black and white.
Don't tell me it was the robot you talked to. I'd be really intrigued. I'd be very intrigued there.
However, I really wanted to get source material. Like I said, newspaper articles from the time, because I think oftentimes, and we're all guilty of this, we don't remember a story. We remember telling the story.
Oh, yeah.
So something that happened, say, even a year ago, we don't really remember what happened. We remember telling the story, and we've been telling the story the same way. So I wanted it fresh and how it was told at the time, and definitely people's reaction from that era as well.
And then you're probably also wondering how we got Tom here, because he's a local guy.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm a professor at Luzerne County Community College, and I'm a commissioner in Plains Township. So among other things. So
there's a little bit of everything there.
Yes.
So again, being a professor
Yes.
at Luzerne County Community College, you're dealing with quite a generation gap there.
Yes.
Did you have the opportunity to bring it up to your students?
Absolutely. I talk about, when this is an excellent example when we talk about research, that when they're doing research, it's important to look at the information, understand that information, and really make a judgment call on the validity of that information. Is that information, is it accurate? Does it come from a reliable source? And I could show them just the amount of research that I did for this, and I said, hey, this is a 241-page book. I had to pour all this research into it. And if I could do it for this book, you can do it
for a term paper.
For a paper, or in my case, I teach public speaking, so for a speech, 3 sources is not a whole lot.
All right. So if someone would like to get a hold of your book, Tom, how do we do that?
Well, you could order it through Amazon. Again, search Primetime 6667, and it will pop up. So you can get it from Amazon. You can get it from creepyclassics.com. They do have it for sale there. Walmart, and my publisher, McFarland Books, which is an amazing publisher, and worked with me through this whole process. And certainly for my first book, I could not have asked for anything better.
All right. Well, good luck with that one, but we're waiting to have you back for the next one.
All right. Absolutely.
And hope that you'll join us then on Community and You.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
You're watching WYLN TV 35.